Wow, so much has been going on. And I thought I was in a calm job. Well, I've made my decision. I'll be quitting when I reach day 10. Hector and the others said it's not uncommon. They're already veterans. They've seen lots of people coming in and out. Victoria has been here for 7 years. Samir, I think 5 or something. Hector has been in here for at least 20. I asked Senora Rivera how long she's been here, and she said for me to mind my own business. The janitors seem to be immune for all of this. All of them have been here for well more than 10 years. I mean, except for the one from the 5th section that I didn't get to meet. Getting to the point, around 1500 of the 3rd day, I got curious about Section 9. It's not very far from my patrol areas, so I stretched my legs and went there. The sun was still in the sky, so I thought this shouldn't be very scary. And apart from that, I'm a security guard. Checking if everything was alright is part of my job, right? At least, that was the reason I gave myself to exploring this haunted place. Well, Section 9 is where the dining hall of the Incas and their kitchens were located. There, where I'd estimate 6 or 7 visitors at the place, reading the information posters and taking photos. Behind the ruins, there was a small forest and a beautiful view of the mountains. Surprisingly, the section was very clean. Their trash cans caught my attention. They were not modern at all. They had a 1950s vibe, and I don't think anyone, apart from collection fanatics, had such preserved old trash cans. They're impressive, right? I heard a slow-paced female voice coming from behind me. As I got up and turned around, I saw that all the tourists had left. The only person with me in the section was an old lady who I had not seen before. She wore those multicolored, traditional Bolivian clothing and was holding a cacao leaf in her hand. "Excuse me, lady," I said, a bit confused. No way she could get here that fast. Her bones seemed like they could barely sustain her anymore, and her skin seemed almost like one could pull her out of it. She smiled. There was not a single tooth in her mouth. "You're the new guard, right?" "Javier Nanosca, from Paraguay. My husband was a commander in the Chaco War." "Madam, the Chaco War was in the early 1930s. And how do you know my name?" "Who are you?" I shouted, using the wrath to hide my fear. "It's so sad you couldn't bring your wife to—" "Don't you dare talk about her." "Don't be rude, boy. Oh, you may have just awoken my husband. You'll love to meet him," she said, laughing. Then I heard footsteps coming up from the forest. "Fuck off," I shouted. By that point, fed up with all those occurrences, and turned around, planning on going back to my section, from where I should have never left first. However, as I was walking away, I couldn't help but take one last look behind. Damn curiosity who keeps dooming me. The lady had disappeared, but in her place, a man who seemed even older than her came out of the woods, carrying large trash bags. He was completely naked, dirty, and his face and neck were covered in blood. "Hello, Javier," he said, smiling and revealing his rotten, yellowed teeth. "I've brought you a welcome gift." He put the bags on the ground and, walking backwards, went back into the woods without ever breaking eye contact with me. The bags' smell were awful. I opened them. I stood there, paralyzed. I was too scared to do anything. I wish that encounter wasn't true, that I was just hallucinating or daydreaming. That wish was killed by the gruesome reality. One of the janitors saw me in that catatonic state and called the other guards to help me. 1 hour later, the police arrived. They took the bag, interrogated several people, not the guards though, and left as fast as they could. I accommodated myself in a chair in the Guadria, drinking hot chocolate and trembling, watching Victoria and Samuel discussing who could have done that monstrosity. Hector was silently smoking a suspicious cigarette as he looked out the window. "It's the second time a staff member died gruesomely since the beginning of the year," shouted Samir, clearly nervous. "We are the next ones." "Oh, shut up, Samir. He's the next one. We're safe," Victoria said. "They started getting more gruesome way before the newbie arrived. We had almost 20 deaths last year. Rivera said the registers say there were only 3 to 5 per year in the early 2000s. Soon even the guests will be in danger." "What is this?" I asked, already getting a bit nervous. "What?" Victoria asked. "What is doing this? This isn't normal. Is it a ghost? A demon? What the hell is happening in these goddamn ruins?" I shouted. "It's better if we don't talk about it," Samir said, visibly afraid. "Javier, meet me in the cafeteria San Jose tomorrow morning. I'll explain some things to you," Hector said as he finished his joint. Then he put on his coat and left the Guadria. Just then I realized it was 1955. Time to go home. The road home was even longer than the day before. This time, the road, worse than having no illumination at all, was completely foggy and cold. Sometimes I saw shadows getting closer and looming over the car, getting closer more and more. I promised myself when I finished my 10-day contract, I'd never go back up that mountain again. When I arrived at home, I checked my broken mailbox. The safe room key was there. I changed its location that night. That night was particularly intense. I couldn't sleep. I looked obsessively at the windows in the bedroom and the bathroom doors. Nothing happened, apart from one picture of me and my ex-wife falling to the floor and having its glass frame broken due to the wind. I threw the thing in the trash anyway. I don't know why I kept it. I'm writing this at 6 a.m. I'm supposed to meet with Hector in 1 hour. Cafeteria is just 2 streets away. I hope he helps me deal with whatever is going on.